Now, PETA has developed a cage, though, to help people experience what it's like for a chicken in inhumane conditions. The cage has been scaled up to fit a grown person, and this is just how much, space a chicken has in proportion to its size and in proportion to its body when it's inside the cage. Now, one of our younger reporters on the desk has volunteered, or rather we forced him, Vedanta Agarwal. He's going to enter this cage for a few minutes to get a feel of what a chicken must go through inside one of these cages. Thank you so much, Vedant, for agreeing to do this. And yes, over to you. You have the cage ready there with you.
Well, absolutely, Gargi. As you can see, the cage, it's a rather tiny cage here. And, just to get a sense of what it's like for, these birds to be put in these confined spaces. In fact, PETA has developed this cage. It's taken this cage to, various cities just to give people a sense of what it's like for, birds to be put inside this. So I'll just, go inside this cage and then share my experience with you.
Small cage, Vishnu.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, so Vedant's going to be in that cage for a while.
That's horrific.
It's absolutely.
That is absolutely horrific. Vedant, I wouldn't have fit.
I don't think you would have fit.
I wouldn't have fitted into that.
I would have had a little more space, but yes, it's terrible to see.
And just to think that this is something which is a practice that happens all the time.
And that's
and
how.
You'd be there for days, would you? You would be in a cage like that for days, months.
Yeah, I mean,
unthinkable.
It's absolutely. Vedant, thank you for actually agreeing to do this. It's pretty difficult over there. Thank you very much indeed.
But let's now go back to my young colleague Vedant, who is inside that cage. We last left him inside a cage to get a feel of what it feels like for chickens and poultry that are kept in.
But it's horrific.
So Vedant, it's been a couple of minutes. How are you doing? Tell us what it's been like. You can come out now.
Well, Gargi, it's, apart from the physical distress, what is significant to note is also the fact that it, feels like your agency is being sort of taken away and you're at the mercy of some external force. So I think, the physical distress and the obvious claustrophobia is there. But apart from that, as I said, it's like you're rendered sort of helpless. And that is perhaps the worst state to be in, to be rendered helpless and to be at the mercy of an external force. So that is also something to sort of think about, that that's the worst state to be in. And that psychology is also something to actually think about. So, and as you mentioned earlier as well, Gargi, that, while it's a choice to consume meat or to be non-vegetarian, it's important to make an informed choice, and it's perhaps also important to be aware of, where your food is coming from. Sure. So, in fact, I'm also joined by the spokesperson of PETA India, Kiran Ahuja, to talk a little bit about, how birds, this was just a taste of what it's like for birds to stay in confined spaces, to talk a little bit more about that, and also a little bit about what is the relation between birds in cage and human health.
Yeah, hi Vedant, thank you for having me. So irrespective of whether these birds are in cage or no, the health effects of eating or consuming eggs on humans are enormous. So just one egg has enough cholesterol that our body needs, and this is really bad for us because consuming egg increases the risk of we getting cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, colon cancer, prostate cancer by multiple folds. And as you know, these hens are, especially in factory farms, kept in such filthy and deplorable conditions. It usually causes infections, and to prevent that, what these factory farms do is pump antibiotics in the hens. And these antibiotics are, of course, not good for us because it causes antibiotic resistance in humans. And not just that, otherwise also these infections can turn out to be zoonotic and can be a huge public health risk. And
this one, right?
Not just for our health overall, consuming egg is ethically not right, because as you can see in this picture, the hens, they are kept in such filthy conditions, and while we cram them in such conditions, it often leads to pecking or the hens attacking each other.
Right.
And
Well, that's right. So here, just a sense of what it's like for these birds to be kept in these confined spaces. So, the great initiative by PETA India, and also, just for our viewers to be, aware of where their food is coming from. Gargi.